It was the first night of February in 1959 when a group of 9 ski hikers mysteriously vanished into thin air on a mountain in Russia. The group had set up camp for the night, enjoying a hearty meal and settling in for some well-deserved rest. But little did they know that something sinister was lurking in the darkness, waiting to pounce. Days passed, and there was no sign of the missing hikers. Until finally, on February 26, searchers stumbled upon their abandoned tent. But it was what they found next that sent shivers down their spines. Footprints in the snow, some barefoot, some wearing only socks or a single shoe, led to the edge of a nearby wood. And that's where the first 2 bodies were discovered, wearing nothing but their underwear and completely shoeless. As more bodies were found in the weeks and months that followed, the evidence made no sense at all. One hiker had been brutally assaulted, while another had suffered third-degree burns. Some were missing clothing, and one had even been vomiting blood. To make matters even more perplexing, some of the hikers' clothes were found to be radioactive. Theories abounded, from the KGB's involvement to drug overdoses, UFO sightings, and even the Russian version of the Yeti. But the most recent theory is perhaps the most chilling of all. It suggests that the hikers may have been victims of infrasound, a barely audible hum created by the wind interacting with the topography that can induce powerful feelings of nausea, panic, dread, and even physical symptoms like increased heart rate and breathing difficulties. Whatever the cause, it's clear that something inhuman and overwhelming was at play on that fateful night in 1959. So the question remains, what really happened on that mountain? Imagine waking up in your hotel room feeling nauseous, dizzy, and disoriented. You try to stand up, but your legs give out from under you. You're hearing strange noises that resemble marbles rolling across the floor, and the longer you listen, the more your ears hurt. This is what happened to 26 Americans and 13 Canadians in Havana, Cuba, beginning in 2016. Initially, many people suspected the Cuban government of being behind the mysterious ailments. However, that theory was quickly debunked, leaving experts scratching their heads. The victims all heard strange noises that they couldn't explain, with some describing it as a beam of sound being pointed at them. So what could be causing this? Some have suggested that it could be a new type of weapon, but the CIA claims they know of no such thing. Others have suggested that the victims were suffering from high levels of stress and anxiety due to their high-pressure jobs. But what about the victims in China? They experienced the same symptoms, leaving experts to question if this is a new kind of Cold War. Sickening noises. The mystery of the Havana syndrome continues to baffle medical experts, with some speculating that it could be related to ultrasound or even lovelorn male crickets. While the cause is still unknown, the consequences are clear. The United States removed 60% of their diplomats from Cuba and expelled 15 Cuban diplomats from Washington, D.C. Is this the beginning of a new kind of warfare? Only time will tell. Hear the tale of the mysterious disappearance of the Mary Celeste. It was a fateful November in the year of 1872 when the ship set sail from the bustling port of New York. Under the command of Captain Benjamin Briggs, the vessel was bound for the shores of Genoa, Italy, carrying a precious cargo and a brave crew of 7 men, including the captain's wife and their young daughter. The Mary Celeste was a majestic sight to behold, with her masts stretching towards the heavens, her sails billowing in the wind, and her wooden hull creaking as she cut through the choppy waters of the Atlantic. On board, the crew worked tirelessly, ensuring that the ship's supplies would last for the long journey ahead. The hold was stocked with provisions and luxuries fit for a king, including a sewing machine and an upright piano, to keep the crew's spirits high. As the days passed, the ship sailed further into the heart of the ocean, surrounded by nothing but the vast expanse of the sea. And then, on a fateful day in December, disaster struck. The Mary Celeste was found adrift in the Atlantic, her crew nowhere to be seen. The ship was completely empty, except for a lifeboat that appeared to have been boarded in an orderly fashion. The ship was still seaworthy, with her cargo fully intact, but her crew had vanished without a trace. The last entry in the ship's log revealed nothing unusual, and inside the ship, all appeared to be in order. What could have happened to the brave crew of the Mary Celeste? Over the years, many theories have been put forth to explain the mysterious disappearance of the crew. Some say mutiny was the cause, while others believe the ship was attacked by pirates. There are even those who claim that a giant octopus or sea monster was responsible for the tragedy. But no one knows for sure what really happened. In recent years, scientists have proposed a new theory that suggests fumes from alcohol on board caused an explosion that, as a result of a scientific anomaly, did not leave behind signs of burning. It is said that the explosion was so terrifying that Captain Briggs ordered everyone into the lifeboat, hoping to save their lives. Whatever the truth may be, the mystery of the Mary Celeste endures to this day, haunting the minds of all who dare to contemplate the fate of the brave crew who set sail on that fateful day so many years ago.